Hey everyone, blessings to everyone. Okay, let me get through a couple things. Welcome, this is Pine Grove News Live. Hey everyone, get this echo off here. Okay, and 6:02 p.m. here on the East Coast. And oh, it's Friday. It's Friday, right? The weekend is here. The Sabbath is upon us, at least here on the East Coast. And just wondering why I'm not live on YouTube. Got to go check that for a moment. And let's see what's going on here. It says I'm streaming live, so we'll go with that. Don't see it. I can't get to it. But in any case, before we get into this, I don't know why it's not out there. Maybe else someone could tell me in Mixler or something, because it's not playing. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it is up on YouTube. Just want to make sure that it is out there. Some things that I'm not doing anymore, so that, can be looked at over on YouTube Live. In any case, there is. Turn this. I don't need that. So, anyways, yeah, I was just, I had taken the day off today, and I hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. Hope everything went well for everyone. We know that some of us, sometimes our families rarely get together, and one of those times is Thanksgiving. It is that case, even though we live, within a couple miles or a few miles of each other. If not for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we get together, or if there's a wedding, stuff like that. But nothing happened last year, so we rarely saw anybody. In any case, it's a long story. We all have long stories when it comes to our families, do we not? And I, just like to throw out prayers for all those who cannot be with their families today. Maybe either military families or whomever. Some may have passed and can't be together, and this just becomes very difficult for them. So all I can say is, for those people, there's peace in Christ. I mean, I love this song by this 5-year-old, and I guess it's his dad. Yeah, there's peace in Christ, and there's hope in Christ, because Christ is hope. That's who he is. He is hope. If you can believe in him, all your hope it won't go away. You'll have all the hope in the world. With that, folks, because some of this news tonight, like every night, can be hard to take sometimes, but we need to keep our heads on our shoulders and not, spinning around in circles like that exorcist lady there. She was actually from Connecticut, you know that? Yeah, the actress was from Connecticut who did that movie. So before I get into this thing about the hot musket operation that's supposedly going to happen or is in the process of happening, I just want to bring you some other news, because it gets a little tricky with these videos from 2 or 3 different people talking about the same thing. So we're going to try and, pin things down with that operation that no, everyone is just speculating. Nobody really knows. Well, some Marines, inactive, not in service. One of them in particular, a guy named Steve. I won't mention his last name. You'll probably see it in the video, but he is a pirate Marine or inactive in any case. There are more than one person in the military who has been out of the military in the past 2 to 4 years that are being recalled. That is the only real fact that we have. Now, why? Well, we get a lot of speculation. So let's go with some other news first. Let's go with this one from the week. Because now, that California is burnt out. There's a lot of them that are worried that apparently there may be heavy doses of rain coming on them, and they're worried about mudslides and stuff like that. And some other person, I don't have the article, but someone I did pass through the day mentioned that, yeah, Michael Morales, was that his name? Mike Morales. He has a video out there today, I believe. What's it called? Destroying this evidence is what it's called. I don't think I have it. I've had it, looked at it, but I don't have it pulled up. So he claims, yeah, they're going to wash away evidence, and that's exactly what's going to happen if they get rain that much to where it causes this mudslides and other stuff, flooding. Because now there's nothing holding back the rain anymore. I mean, all the things are supposedly burnt. Of course, that's really, if you look at everything, that's not really true either. There are a lot of trees that are not burnt, but the houses next to them are. So, and just like the other fires, and most of us really do know what's going on in California, and I am surprised that there is nothing being done about it. Too many single people out there. I mean, what I mean by watchmen that are in different areas that basically just they're watching that area, and there's nobody else with them. Not really. I mean, they got subscribers. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, something so obvious like what's happened over there with the fires and the rains and the FEMA camps, or FEMA coming in and taking over, and people, they can't rebuild, and so they have to move. Where are they going? Right now, most of them are in tent cities. So all these chemicals, because we read about, these fires, and I just want to try to be brief about this. Fires in certain areas had temperatures well above 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit. Enough to melt, aluminum rims from cars. And not only just melt them there, but melted them further, pool. These things, this liquid aluminum just rolled down the street. It was hot enough to make, in a bigger area, not just on the particular car. So anyways, very strange things, and a lot of people are calling out these strange things, and they're strange indeed. Fires burning from the inside out, stuff like that. So this article just covers the rain that's happening now in California, Northern California. Very coincidental that it would show up, okay, just when everything's just about burnt up. So this rain douses most of California's campfire, but brings new threats to recovery efforts. I spoke about that. And it's going to wash all the evidence, any chemicals that may be there. We're talking about the aluminum dust. Remember that? Fine particulates that have been sprayed through the air, chemtrails, that just make things burn hotter. All there is to it. And I think somebody finally admits to, the reason why they are chemtrailing. I think I got that in here somewhere. So, yeah, the wildfires, okay, now are 95% contained as of this morning for the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. So the official death count right now sits at 84. But still, 560 remain missing. Now they're calling these rains a new natural disaster, threatening to recover the efforts of, we're talking about finding those 560 people. Where are they? So they got, I guess, government or FEMA DNA experts. They don't normally do this on a disaster level, but trying to find where those people may be. There's some other figures down here. 1,400 homes. Nearly 5,000 other buildings were destroyed. Just a campfire. So we'll leave you with that. And this is the one about the chemtrails. Yeah, from the Express. Global warming solved. Yeah, we think so. According to the Express, plans to dim the sun, okay, by releasing chemicals into the atmosphere. What do you think? This is surely, you think, right? Kind of a subtle way of saying, yeah, that's why we've been doing it since 1972, right? Or somewhere around there. So, anyways, I guess that's an out and out, what do you call it? Acceptance of their involvement in chem spraying. But they can't do any more of it. I mean, they're already doing it. So scientists are planning to reverse these effects of global warming, and actually it's just climate change, by releasing chemicals to dim the sun into the Earth's atmosphere using balloons or large-scale style guns, okay? Large naval-style guns. Or why don't you just call it what it is? Airplanes, commercial and or otherwise, retrofitted for spraying chemicals. Yeah, we know they exist. Even Trump knows they exist. I've seen a picture of Trump on a plane with all the setup, all the, sprayers and the chemicals. He said he was going to stop it. But because he's, apparently it's not going to be stopped, maybe he was told, what reasons, they were spraying for. I guess he thought that was enough to change his mind. But anyway, so they're admitting to that they're going to spray, okay, which they already have been for a long time. But anyways, we can get into an extensive talk about that and how it's affecting the people of the world, let alone the United States. It's happening everywhere. So experts are hoping to use an ingenious technique known as stratospheric aerosol injection, SAI. Stratospheric aerosol injection, which could reduce the rate of global warming by up to 50%. The proposal would see scientists inject the stratosphere, a part of the Earth's atmosphere, which is about 20 kilometers, which I don't know how high that is, above the surface, with reflective sulfites, which reflect sunlight back into the cosmos. Now, is that the aluminum that they're talking about? Okay, so it would prevent solar energy from adding to the heating globe, which will eventually reduce climate change. Yeah, geoengineering, weather modification. They've been doing it for a long time. So, anyways, there was something I was wanted to mention. What was it we were talking about? Atmospheric aerosol injection. There's just some other headline that I have now forgotten. Was in my head just 30 seconds ago, but sorry, gone now. Yeah, sometimes it don't take much. And this one, I don't know, new site that I went to, Signs of the Last Days. Scientists confirmed the destruction of Sodom from heaven. Okay, there was other articles out there too. So anyways, the A recent scientific study confirmed that a catastrophic or catastrophe from the heavens destroyed all life in the area where Sodom existed near the Dead Sea, as described in the Bible. After a decade of digging, and this is the second article that, found a crater, actually, somebody said in another article, after digging. These archaeologist Philip Sylvian of Trinity Southwest University in Albuquerque reported on his research on the Dead Sea area, meeting of the American Schools of Oriental Research. Studies of the remains of 120 small settlements in the region showed signs of extreme collapse-inducing heat and wind. Say nuclear bomb? That's the theory from quite a few people, especially with some of the things that they've found. In any case, that'll take a while to discuss that as well. Apparently there are still signs, even out in the open, of a tremendous heat and wind, that basically turns some of the, material there into glass. Yep, see, that's what they said right here. Pottery was discovered to have been exposed to heat so intense that it melted into glass. So, I haven't read much of it, so you have to click on that site and save it for yourself, read up on it. We'll try and get it out there somewhere. But also from the sign of the last days, which is definitely a sign of the last days, the days of Noah, the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Macys Thanksgiving Parade turns holiday into an LGBT show. Yeah, this was a big to-do thing, with this parade out there, and then to have two women kiss. How to do that in public to make everyone, put it in, let it sink in their heads. They're here to stay. With children across America turning in to watch the annual Macys Thanksgiving Parade instead of a production that promotes giving thanks to God for his blessings, which is the history and nature of this holiday. Well, I don't know about that, but it was a full in-your-face push for the LGBT's lifestyle. And somebody actually asked that today. So I guess they're not teaching what Thanksgiving really means to people. Maybe a Common Core thing. But yes, I mean, every day is a day to give, thanks to God for his blessings. But that's not just what Thanksgiving is about. No, it's not. It's a great day to, like I said, to do that. But we do that. You should do it every day. People get the thing that they want, and then they're okay for a while, so they don't give thanks to God, in those good days, do they? In any case, I mean, at least what I was taught, maybe it's a big lie, I don't know. It had something to do with the Pilgrims and the beginning of people coming here from other countries, the Pilgrims meeting the Indians, and apparently the Pilgrims were having a very hard time during the winters. A lot of people died. And I guess the Indians, whether they were brought diseases by the Pilgrims, but they had a rough time too. So what happened was that these two got together. The Indians taught the Pilgrims how to grow corn and other things. And they got together, brought all their foods together, to complement each other. And they sat down and they gave thanks for that food, and for the Indians and for the Pilgrims. If it wasn't for them coming together in a shared unity of survival, they would have both died. That's about what Thanksgiving in America is for, anyway. I know there are other countries that may celebrate Thanksgiving for other reasons, like giving thanks to God. But come on, you're only going to give him one day? Oh, no, you give him two. That's right. Christmas. His birthday, which he did not tell you to celebrate. And didn't tell you the date either when he was born. Yeah, but some people think they know the date, the exact date that Jesus was born, and they do not. Wouldn't you think that a man who came down here, a God who came into the form of man to perform certain duties to his Father, and that was to spread the word, you know? And so he led a human lifestyle. And the only thing, you know, it was humility was one of his traits. Humility. He didn't have any, you know, a lot of places didn't have any place to lay his head. You know, he gave up a lot of things. He gave up a lot of things in heaven just to come down here to die for us. But the thing is that he would never have told us to celebrate his birthday. No, he is not that person. He would never have wanted you to celebrate his birthday. He would have wanted you to celebrate his Father, God, not Jesus' birthday. As a matter of fact, he only told you to celebrate or remember two things, basically. To remember the Mary who poured a year's worth of ointment on his head and wiped his feet with her tears. He wanted you to remember her and what she did. And he also wanted you to remember the communion, the Last Supper, where Jesus washed everyone else's feet, and the sharing of the blood and the bread, right? That's what he wanted you to remember. But people don't do that. They want to pick their own little days. So the only reason we celebrate it, okay, Christmas Day, is because a long time ago, probably around 300, AD, where the Nicene Council, or whoever they're called, got together and decided to pick out books that they thought were important enough to, and bring the pagan worship together with the Christian worship and put it together so that they would have a bigger, I don't know, make everything agreeable to everyone, kind of make everyone happy. That's where Christmas came from. Anyways, and I can go into details about that, why it wasn't on December 25th, okay? Frankly, because, first of all, the sheep were still in the field, and they wouldn't have been in the field in the wintertime. In any case, let's move on. So, days of Noah, days of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? It's here. They're trying to teach us, have it become acceptable, and people are. I don't know what this is about. I don't know why I have this. Maybe it changed. Yeah, I just it must have changed because there was something else here. I don't know what was here. Let's see if I can go back without ruining everything. Oh, yeah, this mad driver. Yeah, watch this mad driver. These crazy people. 'Tis the season, you know what I mean? I'm going to show you something else, too. Got a lot of things open, so could go now. Come on.
Jesus Christ. What the hell?
There is going to be swearing in this, so brace yourself, okay?
Call emergency services.
Yeah, this mad driver, you know. I don't know if that's an ambulance or some kind of utility truck.
Yes.
This guy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. As you pulled across to the next lane,
Oh, yeah.
down the outside lane, just nearly went up. He's now
right in the middle of the highway, he decides to stop. I don't know why he's tormenting these people.
Whoa, right, I've had to slow down. It's ZVP, yeah. Master ZVP. Zulu Victor Papa.
Yeah, okay, I'll just stop it there. Eventually, the driver that's recording it gets off and exit while he's playing games in the middle of the highway. But I wanted to show you, there's something else here too. Yeah, this one. Okay, this one would have gone right next to this one. So let's play this from the beginning. Okay, the title of this is Black Friday Brawl over pots and pans. Okay, sees screaming women dragged across the shop floor. You know, I actually, in a Walmart, and this is where it usually happens. It's the only one that I've seen so far. And I have tried to go out there and see if there are other ones. Maybe people learned that would be something, huh? For pots and pans. Okay? Bring it back to the beginning, like I tried to do. So there's the woman right there, okay, on the ground, not letting go of this pot and pan set. And I'll just play it. Yeah, sorry, I got it. And this person is dragging her across the floor, trying to take it out of her hands. Over pots and pans. Okay? And it's not going to be the last, I know. But, of course, Black Friday is not over with yet. It's still Friday. You wonder why they call it Black Friday? Huh? Well, I know why. I know what it means to me, right? That's what a lot of people say about Christmas. Yeah, that's not what it means to me, so I celebrate it the way I want to. Yeah, I'm going to bring in the tree. Even in Jeremiah, where it says the pagans brought in these trees, and Jesus is disgusted by it. People bringing in these trees, cutting them down, and nailing them to whatever, the walls, and decking them with silver and gold. Yep. Jesus deplored that. Yes, this idol worship of the Christmas trees. It was a Druid practice, an old pagan practice, whatever you call it. In any case, all right, so got that done. Let's see. Trump signs order closing the border with Mexico. That was supposedly 18 hours ago, and I've had it for a couple hours, so about 20 hours ago. I did not hear this, but we're going to get close to the beginning, back to those YouTube videos. And I'm going to go through it briefly. You can go and listen to them like I did if you want to, but border closing, I'm just wondering what that would mean right now. So yesterday we reported that President Trump had authorized troops stationed at the border to act in a law enforcement capacity to perform those military protective activities that the Secretary of Defense determines are reasonable, necessary to protect border agents, including a show or use of force, including lethal force where necessary, crowd control, temporary detention, and cursory search. Okay, so in any case, now that you've heard that, you also heard that he authorized the use of force if necessary. And I want you now. This is what's going. This is a great lead into those videos. So I don't know if I really don't want to go there now because there's something left, but I have to because these things just. There's something going on, okay, with this hot musket operation. Now, this guy, Steve Motley, I guess he's retired Marine. It says right there, retired Marine. Operation Hot Musket and massive troop movements to our southern border. Well, I have 3 videos up here. Okay, one from this guy, Steve. One from, actually, there should be another one. From this guy, Marfugel, and there's also a this is just a link to this supposedly Mexican news reporter, but according to Steve, this guy is some kind of disinformation person from the Mexican government or something, whatever. I mean, I watched this video, and people either knew him or because his camera is recording him, and people can see this camera. I'm just saying that there were two girls that were driving by, and they were waving. Now, I don't know if it was just because they saw the camera, which is probably the more likely, or that they knew him as a reporter, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to take the, I'm not going to take everyone's opinion or hearsay without showing proof and take it for truth, okay? I'm not going to. I'm going to research it a little bit. And this took me most of the day, but and there's another one called Grand Supreme News. Okay, got to find him somewhere because he was the other person that I wanted to talk to about. Oh, I got it queued up. I have it queued up. Okay. Well, there it is. This is queued up. So this is excuse me, Grand Supreme News. And the title here is Caravans from South America. Thousands of Red Star tanks unknown. Okay, and this is what, this gentleman, this reporter supposedly said he saw. But apparently, you know that it's disinformation because I've seen the Red Star tanks, the article, and this particular article was dated in 2009. Okay, that was reportedly tanks that were seen then. So if those tanks are still there, even if, they would have, like Steve said, they would need some kind of uptake and there'd be some kind of fingerprint, to keep these things, since 2009. I mean, what? That's 10 years, 10 plus years, right? And I have to maintain them, thousands of these, for what purpose? So nobody has actually come up with any pictures of these so-called tanks, okay? That nobody's went into the woods, okay, and saw these tanks and took pictures and came back out and showed them. So there's no proof like that. But, okay, this is the other thing. Now, we're still trying to figure out what Operation Hot Musket is. And there's two different opinions. One opinion is that these deployments, like this one right here, that Marfugel put out here, has these orders, which somebody else claims is false, but how can they claim that? I mean, it's got all this information here. You can go to a certain site and see these orders, and he just blacked out the names of the particular person who was imprinted in there. But they are recalling people who are out of the military, okay, 2, 4 years, sometimes even longer, depending on the branch, back into the service. Now, we're trying to figure out why they want to do that. But in the meantime, apparently, this person is being deployed to northern Texas. I guess it was Lubbock, Texas. And he was, in these orders, it tells him what particular vehicle that he's going to be driving. And I guess I heard that from somebody. I don't know exactly anything about these military, what they call them. ADSs, RCA, whatever those things are. Okay, that's the additional instructions and the CPI. But I did hear from Marfugel somewhere down the line in his 2.5-hour video that this guy is going to be driving one of those riot kind of looks like a tank, but it has a satellite dish on the top of it, maybe in a square shape, and that's the frequency thing that they, beam out there to rioters to calm them down or irritate them or give them headaches or something. But it's more like riot gear. So he is one. This person in these orders, but yeah. So even Steve right here says that there is something going on. That the two different things are this. Okay, to make it short, one believes that this incursion from, with military personnel and vehicles in northern Texas is actually an invasion by our own government on us. Now that's kind of ridiculous. I don't, I could see martial law coming out in certain places and